world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Heyo, everybody. Hey, in this episode, we are going to get into the franchise that just will not go extinct. Get ready for some Dino DNA. Roll that intro.
Hey, all you beautiful movie-loving people out there, live from a red carpet somewhere, surrounded by celebrities. This is the Movies Merica podcast with Van Ebert, where movie reviews meet cold brews. Van will review your favorite and maybe not so favorite movies while enjoying some ice-cold beers and saying cheers. Now let's head into the theater and join our illustrious movie reviewer du jour, who's no doubt got the beer ready to pour, Van Ebert. Welcome to Jurassic Movies Merica.
Yes, everybody, come on in. Jump in your Jeep. We're going to drive into the park here today. So get ready. Hold on to your butts. It's Jurassic World Dominion.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch. Creation is an act of sheer will. Life will find a way.
We can't keep her here forever.
They find her, we're never gonna see her again. We gotta protect her, that's our job.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
You might want to come to this movie, but you just might come to regret it. But we'll get into more of that here later on here into the review. But for right now, hey, let me share with you some crucial info, right? So yeah, we got to get you the crucial data. And so I just wanted to let you know that this podcast, as you may very well know already, it's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many other podcast platforms, as you may know. And if you're on Apple Podcasts in particular, feel free to scroll all the way down to the very bottom of all the episodes there, and you can just see 5 fantastic stars right there. And you know what? Hey, you know what? You guys are the greatest. You guys are the best looking. I've never seen you before. You guys are the best looking. I'm sure you have the best personalities. Have I buttered you up enough yet? Is that working? I hope so. I don't know. But you know what? But the one way to let me know if it did work is, hey, give it a 5-star rating down there. Yeah, let me know if all my sucking up worked there. And then, hey, while you're down there in that area anyway, go ahead and click on that write a review button there by the 5 stars. And hey, yeah, just throw a review in there. It doesn't have to be, War and Peace. It doesn't have to be A Tale of Two Cities. It doesn't have to be that long, right? I'm not looking for the Old Testament. Just put in there and say, hey, this podcast is fantastic, or this podcast is a tragedy. Be honest. Because like I always say, here at Mr. Movies, what the Movies Merica. Let's try it. Movies Merica Corporation. Honesty is our policy. And then also, if you go to the very top right of the podcast there's like 3 dots, the ellipses there. And if you click on that, you basically choose like follow show. and that'll just download all the episodes automatically for you. One less thing for you to worry about in life, right? Also, this podcast is available on moviesmerica.com. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram under Movies Merica, of course. I like to put out some posts out there every once in a while, share my genius to the world. And also, that's a good way to, get in contact with me. You can DM me on there and, give me some tips, some tricks, any movies you want me to review, things that you think I could do or you feel I could do to improve the podcast. I'm always open to suggestions. I am not above getting some suggestions there. Absolutely. Yeah, you bet. And also, as you know, if you've ever listened to an episode before here, in most episodes, I drink a beer while I'm doing my review. Yeah, I like to stay hydrated with some brews while I'm doing my movie reviews. And today I am going to be hydrating with some 903 Brewers Margarita. That's right. A man, baby. A man made this. Surely a man made Margarita. Yes. And now it's not Mangaria. That's Adam Carolla's concoction there with the Carolla drinks. Adam Carolla's Mangaria. This is 903 Brewers Margarita. Yes, man. It's a man, baby. Yes. And this is a Berliner Weiss ale. And it's got some hints of mango and lime in it. And you know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm totally honest with you with the beers that I drink, with the brews that I imbibe as I'm doing these reviews. And, this one kind of slipped on a banana peel a little bit here. This one I'm not a big fan of. Maybe it's one of those beers that's it's an acquired taste. But, yeah, this one is not sitting well with me. But, hey, it might sit well with you. You might be a fan. But 903 Brewers Margarita. Yeah, get it? Margarita. Margarita. Yeah, there you go. Very clever there, 903 Brewers. Very clever. Yes. So, hey, let's get right into this movie. All right, so Jurassic World Dominion. Okay, so I had high hopes in the respect that I always want a movie to be good, right? Because I want it to be good for purely selfish reasons. Because I want to be entertained, right? A terrible movie, a trashy movie, that doesn't entertain me, right? I don't get nothing out of that. I don't enjoy, putting out reviews out there, just, crapping all over a movie. No, that's not any fun. I just did Top Gun Maverick a couple of reviews ago. That was much more fun doing that review because that was an awesome movie than, say, doing a review for, the dumpster fire that was Morbius. I want movies to be good. And unfortunately, Jurassic World Dominion didn't get the memo. Okay. The characters are just superficial. They're one note. They're stiff. The one exception I would say is Jeff Goldblum. And even he's not really that great in this movie. He's okay, but I gotta say, there's a scene in this movie where he's giving a lecture to all these people at this institute, and it's basically one of those taking a million words to say absolutely nothing lectures. And believe me, it is bust out funny, unintentionally. Okay, because the writers are trying to make Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character, sound deep and profound. And he's given us this information that only a genius of his making can understand. Us lowly beings, lowly beings, with our little caterpillar brains, we can't comprehend. We couldn't come up with what the genius, the revolutionary mind of Dr. Ian Malcolm is coming up with. He's giving this lecture, and it's so extraordinary. And you could tell it's what the writers are going, through. And then, at the end of the lecture, this isn't a spoiler, at the end of the lecture, everybody's like clapping. Yeah, all right. Like you're just giving them a pep rally or pep talk before they're going to go out and play a football game. And like, really? Okay. So that cracked me up, but that's kind of like the Hollywood version of intelligence and academia and being a smart character, right? in the movies, it's always about you're always trying hard to, really just drive home the point that these characters are very, very smart, very intellectual, very, very intellectual. I mean, he's got the letters DR in front of his name. He's very, very intelligent. Yes, he's coming up with all these revolutionary ideas, or she. And so, I like Chris Pratt as an actor, as a guy. I mean, he's, but yeah, even he is like just stiff and wooden in this, and it's been a long time since Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me put it that way. But he's good in like most of his other movies. It's just in this one, just like the rest of the actors in this movie, they just kind of phone it in. There's like, just kind of like, hey, okay, when do I show up for my performance, and where's my check? And I think we see a lot of that in this movie. You never really feel like these characters are in danger at all. I mean, we've got the original three, from Jurassic Park. We've got Sam Neill as Dr. Alan Grant, Laura Dern as Dr. Ellie Sattler, then, of course, like I said, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm from the original Jurassic Park. And these guys are no spring chicken, okay? These guys are no spring chickens. They're getting up there in age, and you never feel like these guys are too slow, and they're susceptible to being killed by these supposedly really dangerous animals, these dinosaurs. You just never really feel like they're in danger. I mean, it's, it would be, I guess it would be going too far to kill off a character, it's just, that would just be out of bounds, and we can't have that, because some people on film Twitter might get mad. And, I think as we have enough of these big blockbuster movies that don't really risk anything, they're just bloodless, and they don't really do what it takes in the plot to give the movie any kind of weight or credibility. I think the audiences are eventually just going to get really sick of this stuff. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, we've got a lot of normies out there that, you slap the Marvel label on the movie and it doesn't care. It doesn't matter how terrible the movie is. They'll scurry right out to the theater. Hey, it's a Marvel movie. I'll be right there. But maybe hope that, we'll come up with, more movies that you can get emotionally invested in, and more movies where you walk out of the theater and you remember them, right? You're thinking about them for, a day or two or three or a week or whatever afterwards. Like, man, that's just really very thought-provoking, and I can't get that movie, I can't get that scene, I can't get that character, I can't get that plot out of my mind. But for right now, we have Jurassic World Dominion. Okay, and it's just, like I said, you don't really feel like they're in danger. And one of the ways that you don't feel that they're in danger is, okay, they're in these tense, supposedly dangerous situations, and characters are having like these deep, heartfelt, kind of just casual conversations about life with each other as they're walking in, these hallways, or running away from dinosaurs, or they're just in this really risky situation, and they're just kind of like, oh, hey, so how you been? Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, you got married? Okay, well that's a fantastic. Hey, you still got that banana bread recipe you were promising me? Yeah, maybe. Okay, there you go. Oh my God, there's a big dinosaur. I mean, it's like it's these casual, conversations that you'd be, having, like if you ran into your best friend Madge, in the cereal aisle at your local grocery store, while you're supposed to be, in the middle of this situation where you're going to be lucky to make it out alive, right? That is, that's Hollywood screenwriters. That's a lot of Hollywood screenwriters. I'm not going to say all of them. Some of them have enough life experience and they know like how things in life work, but you have some Hollywood screenwriters that just live in their Hollywood movie bubble, and the biggest risk they take in life is they order a cafe latte and they got a cafe mocha instead. That's like the biggest risk in life they've ever faced, and ever, And so they just imagine, like, well, if I was in a really dangerous situation, I would probably have plenty of time to talk about, like, hey, did you download that new song from U2? Oh yeah. Oh hey, that's great. Oh hey, how many kids do you have now? Oh okay, yeah. Hey, did you try that new cold brew coffee over there? That local coffee house? Yeah, I mean, they think that's how a dangerous situation would go down, right? And so it's just it just falls flat. You didn't never think of these people in danger. You're just like, these people are just showing up, performing these roles. CGI guys come in later on and put the scary dinosaurs in there, and you just never feel any danger. I mean, even in the scenes where we've seen it a million times in these Jurassic Park movies, where they're walking, and all of a sudden you see something from the side of the screen. You see some bushes moving, some trees rocking, and a big shadow looms, and there's this big dinosaur coming out. And what do the people do? What our beloved main characters do? They kind of like move slowly, move backwards slowly, and hide behind this car, hide behind this building, hide behind this log, hide behind some kind of object. And miraculously, these dinosaurs are too stupid to see us, to detect us, to smell us. Yeah. And it's just, we've seen it in all these movies, and not just Jurassic Park movies, but, plenty of movies where there's creatures, and they're going to get away. They're hiding away, behind some car, and then you see that the big dinosaur's nose, like, get, like 3 inches away from them, and the people are right there. And, if this really happened in real life, those people would be lunch, But you know what? Hey, this is a riskless movie. We can't have anybody die, or anything like that. We can't do what it takes to really drive home, like, these are dangerous, deadly animals that can kill anybody at will. But you can't do it because today's writers are just so safe. So safe. They're so afraid of film Twitter backlash and backlash, from other places. We can't dare kill anybody, and they don't realize there's so many other ways to make your movie great, okay? And forget about the backlash from film Twitter. Film Twitter is like 27 people, okay? They're very, very loud, so it makes it seem like, oh man, there's 27 million people on film Twitter, and they all hate my movie. No, it's 27 people. Half of them live in their parents' basement, okay? Who cares? Write your story. Make your story entertaining and intriguing. Forget Zach living in his mom's basement, Forget about him, right? Make your movie, make it entertaining, okay? But, like I said, these characters are just very shallow, superficial, one note. In particular, there's I think DeWanda Wise is the actress's name, and she plays a character of Kayla, and she's she's a pilot in this movie. She just happens to show up conveniently as a pilot to transport our beloved heroes from here, from hither and thon, right? From here to there, and she particularly stands out as trying way too hard in this movie to kind of be like a back down to no one Han Solo type in this. I mean, they just. Yeah, she just tried too hard. She's particularly wooden, particularly stiff, and she doesn't really lend anything to this movie. There's like some supporting characters that are okay. There's a assistant to the big baddie who's kind of I was about to say something that would spoil the movie here, but he's like an assistant and he's showing Dr. Sattler and Dr. Grant around the premises, and he's an interesting, and he adds a little entertainment to or gravitas to the movie. But yeah, this Deandra Wise plays Kayla. You won't be able to miss her. She just I think they just stuck her in the movie because they're like, okay, I think there's too many white people in this movie, and we gotta throw some representation in there. And again, I don't get me wrong, I have no problem with a diverse cast. For me, have as many characters of however many races as possible. Just make them interesting, okay? And that goes for the white characters too, particularly. Like, you gotta be interesting, okay? I don't care what your skin color is, or what your national origin is, or whatever. Just be entertaining and interesting. Lend something to the story, okay? That goes for you guys too, Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, okay? Now, I think the reason that this screenplay is so laughable is it's co-written by Colin Trevorrow, who directed the movie, but the other writer is the writer of Pacific Rim Uprising. That's right, yeah. Oscar-winning, not so much, Pacific Rim Uprising, okay? They really went all out to get the best of today's screenwriters. Yes, absolutely. So Aaron Sorkin, they are not, okay? Absolutely not. And yeah, as part of the screenplay, there is just far too many convenient events and meetings in this movie. I mean, I'm sitting here and I don't know how many times I just looked up at the ceiling in the movie theater, rolling my eyes, going, "Oh God." Really, this happens to be the same person that was at this situation a half a world away, and now she or he's right here, just conveniently happens to know one of the main characters and happens to have this thing they need, and they manage to get there in record time, Come on! Jeez. And I guess, I don't know, maybe, the genius screenwriter of Pacific Rim Uprising wanted to make this world seem a lot smaller than it really is. And come on. I mean, I've heard of suspension of disbelief. I mean, there's plenty of movies that I like where it's a fantastical movie. It's clearly a movie. It's not supposed to be reality, where you do have to suspend your disbelief. But there's some movies where they want you to suspend so much disbelief it's downright insulting. Okay, it's just So I think it belabored that point enough right there. But and I think you'll find, and it might just be me, but there are some action sequences in this movie that do kind of seem like Michael Bay was like a guest director in this movie, and so there was, it was kind of Michael Bay's action scenes in the middle of Jurassic World Dominion, and which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it kind of stood out from the pacing of the rest of the movie. Now, the score, the soundtrack to this movie is ho-hum. It's not that great. It doesn't really stand out, and which is surprising because, and I didn't know this until after I'd seen the movie. I didn't stick around for the end credits, believe me. But I was surprised to hear later on that the score is by Michael Giacchino, who we just all heard do the fantastic The Batman score. I love the Batman score. The Batman score is, I've just recently have stopped playing it 24/7. Okay, it's a fantastic soundtrack, and unfortunately, Michael Giacchino just phoned this one in. His score didn't really add any kind of emotional gravitas to anything. It didn't provide any kind of emotional impact in this movie. It's of course he makes sure to incorporate the classic the classic Jurassic Park theme. When you see our original trio show up, and because you got to put that in there. That's fine, but the rest of the score, is just kind of like just a play by numbers, color by numbers kind of thing. And I was very surprised that it was Michael Giacchino after behind this kind of just lackluster effort in the score. Yeah, another negative thing I got to say about this movie. Believe me, people, I wish I was getting to say all kinds of great things about this movie. Believe me, I wish I was. But the jerky editing in this too, it throws off any weight, any investment you possibly could have had in this movie. They just cut from one scene to another like too fast, which is surprising because the editor, I think it was Mark Sanger, that's the editor. He edited the Fantastic movie from almost 10 years ago now. Wow. Gravity. Remember Gravity? Alfonso Cuarón's movie, with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, and Sandra Bullock's trapped in space. Mark Sanger, the editor on this movie, Jurassic World Dominion, he won an Oscar. He won an Academy Award for his editing in Gravity. And he's going to do this in this movie? Yeah, again, I think we see a lot of normally talented, creatives, in this movie, when they give full effort, when they give it their all, they just do masterful things. And I think they're just like, all right, okay, gotcha, I got to show up. I got to edit this thing. All right, yeah, okay, let's cut it right there. Okay, let's trim this scene right here. And hey, honey, is that meatloaf ready yet? All right, oh, it's ready? Okay. Oh, let me just trim this real quick. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So, yeah, editing done. All right, we're all done. All right, done. Man, that meatloaf sure smells good. All right, I'm done. Like, just give it a half effort, Now, let me throw one positive note about this movie in here, okay? I did think a lot of the CGI shots were good. I thought that a lot of the dinosaurs look fantastic. The texture, the specificity of the graphics and how they did with the CGI. I think a lot of it was good, but there were some CGI that just was not that great whatsoever. And I think you actually see some of the bad CGI in the trailer as well. Yeah, it's but some of the CGIs are fantastic. The dinosaur battle at the end was looked pretty good. But yeah, it's. And another thing that annoys me here, and it's not just in this Jurassic World movie, but in all the Jurassic World movies, is I didn't know you could just control a flesh-eating velociraptor and other dinosaurs with just holding up your hand. When did that start? I mean, if that's the case, then I say bring out all the deadly dinosaurs, into this real world that you want, because if some velociraptor or some T-Rex shows up at my house, I just gotta hold up one hand and say, "Hey there, Mr. T-Rex. I think you're a little out of bounds here, Mr. T-Rex. Okay, can't you see my hand I'm holding up? You need to stop, Mr. T-Rex. Oh yeah, and that goes for you, Mr. Brachiosaurus over there. Yeah, see this hand? Talk to the hand. All right, I'm holding up my hand. You have to do what I say because I'm holding up my hand. You have to back up because I'm holding up my hand. Really? Again, suspension of disbelief. I guess you just have to hold up your hand and look them real deep in the eyes like you're about to propose marriage or something. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. And another positive thing I could say is there's the chase sequence in Malta in this was kind of cool. It had some kind of cool elements to it. The cool fast pacing in this was kind of a treat for the eyes in some respects there. Speaking of things that we've seen over and over again in these movies, is of course we have yet another rich bad guy, that runs a nefarious corporation, and in this case it's definitely a character that is definitely Bill Gates. Okay, I mean, I'll just say it. This guy is a caricature of Bill Gates, Tim Cook, but more of Bill Gates. I mean, with what he's doing with, buying up all these farms and trying to manipulate, the activities and the behaviors of everyday people around the world. This guy is definitely a nefarious Bill Gates, but I repeat myself. But other than that, go see this movie. Yeah, other than that, other than all those, other than those 713 things that I listed off that stink about this movie. Oh yeah, go see that. Go see this movie, and I'm sure a lot of people will. Okay, because hey, it says Jurassic in the title, and I'm gonna see it because I like that Jurassic Park movie from like 29 years ago. You know, the only saving grace is it doesn't have the Marvel sticker slapped on it, so maybe it wouldn't. But yeah, this movie was so bad, I think I got to go see Top Gun Maverick again, just as a palate cleanser. And that's probably what made this movie worse, is just because, you know, I just came off of Top Gun Maverick and the great movie that is, and then you watch this here. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I think I've said my piece about Jurassic World Dominion. And with that, hey, I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to this latest episode. Check me out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And with that, everybody, remember, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.